Hey guys, what day is it? Woot woot. It's hump day. It is hump day. I have an editorial for you. Here we go. Now, this story came out on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2019. But I didn't know about it, and I don't believe any of you knew about it. It's coming from Missouri. Is it Missouri or Missouri? I guess it depends on where you're from. It's the show me state. But Missouri, it comes from there, and there's a reason that I'm giving you this story, and I will get to it at the end of the article. Now, this one is kind of one that could go either way. Some of you may disagree with me and say, you know what, give cops a break. Some of you may agree with me and say, yeah, cops are like that. But I'm going to say some things at the end of this editorial when I get done here. I did mention it yesterday in the editorial I did yesterday. I'm giving it to you now. Link is in the description box below if you want to go and read it for yourself and look through it. Had to clear my throat. Me. And give me your comments in the comment section below. Give me your opinions on this. Here we go. I need coffee, man. Here we go. Fox News. Thank you, Fox News, for this story. Out of Missouri, the tragic death of a 4-year-old girl who was run over by a police vehicle at a Missouri school has led nearly a year later to the indictment of the on-duty officer who was behind the wheel. Andrea Heese, a 28-year-old member of the Columbia Police Department, was charged with manslaughter Monday in the January 4, 2019 death of Gabriella Curry outside Battle High School, according to reports. Heather Miller, the Camden County prosecutor, told Fox 22 Columbia, quote, "We've been working with the Highway Patrol. We've been in contact with the family, working with them, and making sure that all the ducks were in a row before we were comfortable filing the case." A call from Fox News seeking comment from Heese's attorney was not immediately returned. The indictment comes after the city of Columbia agreed to pay Gabriella's parents $3.4 million to settle a lawsuit seeking damages for claims of wrongful death. The school district, which has also been sued, agreed to a $125,000 settlement. Curry's mother told KOMU-TV Monday that the criminal case against Heese makes it even more difficult with Gabriella's 1-year anniversary of her death this weekend. Remember, this story came out December 31st. According to the reports at the time of the accident, Heese was in a patrol SUV when she struck the girl after driving onto the sidewalk to monitor school buses. After hitting her, Heese assisted Gabriella, giving her CPR and calling for help, KOMU reported. She was put on administrative leave after the accident. Her current status was not known. Now, I've looked through, I was trying to find a more current story on this incident here, and I could not find one. The most current story I could find on this incident was the December 31st story, which a lot of different media outlets are reporting on. I went with Fox News because two reasons. One, they usually give you a lot of detailed information, and two, they don't have a lot of pop-ups where I'm like, click no, I don't want to buy pencils from Afghanistan. No. But this could happen to anybody. Look, let's go easy on the cop a little bit here. Let's not be too hard on Andrea Heese and run her into the ground and stomp on her and go, she's such a tyrant. And, it could happen to anybody. She drove up there. She was trying to monitor the school buses. Why the hell she was driving up on the sidewalk, I don't know. But I'm sure she feels terrible about it. Some of you may go, yeah, right. No, I'm sure she's living with this every day of her life. I'm sure she was living with it every day throughout the year. And then all of a sudden, New Year's Eve, they're reporting that she's charged with manslaughter. Now she's got to relive it all over again. And it's just, so I'm compassionately, I'm going to give the officer a little bit of breathing room here. But what I did want to say about this story is that I did want to point out the fact that it said she drove up on the sidewalk to monitor school buses. And I see cops all the time doing traffic travesties. I see them stopped in the middle of the street, just talking. Hey, man, what's up? Hey, man, how you doing? Right there in the middle of the street. And you have to go around them. They're risking a head-on collision by they're right in the middle of the street. Like, what the fuck? I've seen them before on residential streets, not busy streets, but those back residential roads, street, lane, cul-de-sac, whatever. I've seen them sitting on both sides of the street, one facing this way, one facing this way, the whole road just talking. And you're like, you stop and you go, guys, I can't get through. San Bernardino, I had one like that. And the car came up. You had one cop this way parked in the middle of the street. Another cop parked this way in the middle of the street. And a car came up and he was like sitting there waiting to get through. And they were just doing their thing. And I started cussing them out. I said, Hey, jerkwad, do you see the car trying to get through? You guys are in the middle of the street doing paperwork, talking, and there's a car trying to get through. And the cop's like busting me out for being a jerk. Yeah, you were just doing our job. What, blocking the whole goddamn street while a car's trying to get through? So it does burn me when I see cops doing stuff like that, stopping in the middle of the street, pulling up on the sidewalk and then driving down the sidewalk. I see motorcycle cops down the sidewalk. There's pedestrians on the sidewalk. Dipshit. If we try that, we're going to get our motorcycle impounded and get a citation of $800 for riding on the sidewalk. But cops can do it because, well, they're cops. They can stop in the middle of the street. They can type on their laptop while they're driving down the street and steering with their knees. I've seen that. They can roll through red lights. They're not going anywhere. It's just I don't feel like stopping right now. I've seen that. So I think this here is a lesson to all law enforcement officers that may see this video. That when you're driving a vehicle, just because you have a badge on your chest and just because it says police or sheriffs on the car outside doesn't mean that you can't kill somebody or cause a serious accident by driving like an asshole. Okay? Or being a jerk in your vehicle. If you have to talk, pull into a parking lot somewhere and talk. You park on the curb. The other one parks behind you or in front of you. You get out and you talk on the side of the road. Or he'll walk up to your passenger window and go, yeah, man. But sitting in the middle of the street blocking cars, well, you're going to have to go around me. We're cops and we're talking. That's how you protect and serve? It's not very protective when people are trying to get around you and you got cars coming the other way. And I've had to do that. I've literally come up behind cops and they just sit there and talk and talk and talk. And they look up. You see their head go up. They're looking in the mirror and their head go back down and they continue talking. And you have to go around them. And I've seen cars coming and I got to zip real quick to get around. Yeah, I've done that. And all this isn't necessarily in my hometown where I live. No, I'm talking all over the Inland Empire. I've had this occur to me. In multiple cities, I've seen this. So it's not just one particular police agency. But I think this is a lesson to all law enforcement officers right here. That when you drive your vehicle, you need to be careful because just because it's a police car and just because you have a badge doesn't mean you're like some immortal, angelic driver. You can still get people killed or hurt. Now, there was the one I did the editorial on the cop that was texting and the guy ran into him and the dash cam inside the vehicle showed him texting just before the crash. Yeah, that crash wasn't his fault. It wasn't. I don't remember if I faulted the officer or not. I did fault him for texting and driving. Yes, I did, because that's illegal in California. I don't know what state that was. I'm sure it's illegal in every state. Well, in California, it's hugely illegal. It's egregious. But you see cops doing it all the time. But the officer necessarily wasn't at fault in that accident. The SUV was at fault. But had that officer been driving instead of texting, he would have seen that and he would have been able, whoa, swerve or hit his brakes. And maybe the accident wouldn't have been as extreme. but he wasn't paying attention. He was texting. I mean, it doesn't mean the accident was his fault, but he could have softened the blow had he been paying attention and looking out the windshield. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Happy Hump Day, Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers in your community everywhere. Just remember, if you're a law enforcement officer in the Inland Empire of California, you just might see me there, watching you, watching me, watching you.